If you're trying to grow an e-commerce business, it is critical, as everyone knows, to acquire new customers. It's so critical that it's the #1 strategy that you should be running in both your Facebook ads, Google ads, and really any marketing that you're running right now. We're going to break down the exact strategy that we use to take $1 million businesses and turn them into $10 million businesses through acquiring new customers. I'm going to walk you through Facebook setups, Google setups, and a few spreadsheets, really give you a full recap of everything we do for all of our clients. First things first here, we're going to note down 4 of our most important metrics, our average order value. And for this example, we're just going to assume our average order value is $90. So we're going to take our average order value of 90, and then we are going to assume a cost of goods based on a specific margin. I'm going to assume here that we're operating at a 65% profit margin, meaning that on a $90 purchase, 32 of those dollars go to goods. So if I sell $90 in my product, 32 of that is the cost assumed for me to create that product, ship that product, and a few other hard expenses. That would then give me a $59 profit per order. This $59 is actually going to be the equivalent of our break-even cost per acquisition. Any dollar that I acquire under that 59, I'm making a profit. The value of the break-even strategy simply comes from the fact that if that customer repeat purchases, which is highly likely if you're running a proper retention program, you will make money in the long term on that customer the second, third, fourth, fifth time they purchase and when they tell their friends. For this entire example, everything we're going to do is actually going to be based on an $89 cost per acquisition. We're going to jump right into Facebook ads, and I'm going to show you the exact setup that we're using to acquire new customers as quickly as possible for this customer. So you're going to notice we have an abundance of prospecting campaigns and only one retention campaign. That one retention campaign is to help facilitate that second, third, fourth purchase, but it only represents about 5% of our total budget. Everything else is pure prospecting. When we are only using 7-day click attribution. If you use too much view through attribution, people that may have already been interested in purchasing your product without the influence of your ads may purchase your product without you having to actually advertise to them. If you want to use a click-based attribution window, I do recommend 7-day click. If you're a really cheap product, like a $30, $40 product, you can use a 1-day click attribution model, but generally speaking, I would recommend a 7-day click model. What we're doing for this client in particular is we are using Advantage Plus. This is not something we normally use across most of our portfolio, but for this client in particular, where we're focused super heavy on new customers, we're using purely Advantage Plus. And really all I need to show you is one of the settings for this Advantage Plus campaign, because it's going to break down everything you need to know. As we scroll through the settings, you'll first notice that attribution is still set to 7-day click. We have everything properly set up for website, maximize number of conversions, 7-day click. Our reporting is all good. Our daily budget is set, in this case, only to $56. So this is a relatively small campaign that I'm showing you, but here is where all of the value comes from. Our existing customer budget cap is set to $0. As you can see here, we'll aim to spend no more than $0 on your existing customers, meaning Facebook is going to prioritize fully new customer acquisition for us. We literally just need to click this one button, set it for 0%. And generally speaking, that's going to eliminate around 80% of our existing customers that have ever purchased on Shopify. It's going to do such a better job of driving new customer acquisition for us. Once we set that to 0, there are no additional settings here that really need anything going on. That is the core of the setting. You might ask, why do we have 3 different Advantage Plus campaigns running? The first Advantage is our most basic Advantage Plus campaign. It is literally a 7-day click, as I already showed you, 0% existing customer targeting, and it's running a plethora of ads. We have a boatload of different catalogs that we're testing in here, only a few of which are driving most of the value. And then the second campaign here is a post campaign. We are reusing the Instagram posts from the natural Instagram account. We are not creating new content. We are just leveraging the fact that this brand has high social proof. So they have a lot of comments, a lot of likes on their existing content. And all we're focused on is literally taking that exact piece of content, pushing it into ads. And the beauty of this is that if it works, we found a winning piece of content. If it doesn't work, we just pause it down. Very simple trade for us. It's something we manage every single day with tons of our clients right now. So that's the second campaign that we're running. And the third and final campaign is a high value campaign. So this is basically very similar to that first campaign, but we're focusing all of our catalogs purely on high value products. So we're breaking things out for all products, in this case, priced over $100. This is going to be a big distinction for this catalog. Generally, it's going to drive a much higher average order value, better contribution margin for us. And therefore we could actually afford to acquire customers at a premium compared to some of the other campaigns. And we're likely to get a better average order value in return. And as I mentioned, that last campaign is just a retention campaign. You could steal this if you want to, but basically what's running is purchasers all time, 180-day purchase within the last 45 days, or purchase twice over all time. All of these tend to work super super, super well. Very, very high return on ad spend. I'm going to show you what to do if you're not running Advantage Plus, just so everyone is completely aware of how this functions. If you are not running Advantage Plus, you can go to the ad set level on any single ad set that you have that's not running Advantage Plus. You can scroll down, and then when you get to the audience section, you'll see the exclusion section here. All you need to do is drop in your customer exclusion list. What I recommend is exactly what we have here. We have the website visitors and purchasers over the last 180 days. So we're excluding anyone who's purchased in the last 180 days. And we're also excluding a customer list that's ported over from Klaviyo on exactly who to exclude based on purchasers over the last 180 days. What this means to us is that anyone that's purchased in the last 180 days, whether we have their email, phone number, or they've done a pixel event on our site that was captured by Facebook, they are going to be excluded and we can target everyone else. Moving to the Google side, you're going to notice a few things that are different. First off, we do have an existing branded search campaign running. This is an initiative that is specific to this client. The goal of this campaign is just anytime someone searches your brand name, we're showing up 100% of the time. As you can see, the bid strategy is a target impression share, which literally means we just want to show up at the top target impression share for us at all times. The two campaigns that are really focused on new customer acquisition here are Performance Max and Standard Shopping. The first adjustable setting is our goal. Make sure you are set for purchases, but really what this is all focused on is optimizing the campaign for acquiring new customers. So there's two options here, and don't get tricked by the recommended option. The recommended option is to bid higher for new customers than existing customers. This still allows Google to spend as much money as they want on your existing customers as long as they can acquire them for cheaper. We really need to focus on pure new customer acquisition. In this case, we are selecting only bid for new customers. This option limits your ads to only new customers regardless of your bid strategy. That's what we're going to click save on. So once that's set, you should see new customer acquisition only bid for new customers. Everything else is similar to a normal Performance Max setup, which we have went through many times on this channel. You should see feed all products from feed, all store locations, set your budget to however you see fit. Big caveat on the bid here. In most cases, if you're running a Performance Max campaign, let's say it's getting a 300% return on ad spend or a 3x return on ad spend, you're often going to have to pull that way back once you enable the setting that we just went over here for only bid on new customers. The reason for that is because it's going to be much harder for your business to acquire a brand new customer than it is for your business to keep making existing customers repeat purchase over and over. It's actually more critical here to pull back that target return on ad spend, and you should actually relate that to what is your break even. So how do we set these return on ad spends and how do we set these break even cost per acquisitions? It goes right back to the very start of this video where we talked about what is your break even CPA? What is your break even return on ad spend? All of that really needs to bake into how you're setting your goals in your advertising channels. One of the most important settings that we need here is all the way hidden down in additional settings at the very bottom called brand exclusions. What we need to do for brand exclusions is actually create a new brand list down here. What you'll be prompted to do is enter your own brand. So how this is going to function is we are going to create a list that actually serves as an exclusion or an account-wide negative that will be applied to this campaign and basically works as like a negative keyword. Let's just enter your brand name here. You should then just be able to either enter your exact URL. Let's just pretend that was our brand, and you can click save here. Once you do that, you should be able to automatically add that brand list right here. It's going to eliminate an additional 20-30% of those brand search terms that are coming up on Performance Max, really help you focus in on those new customer acquisitions. Next piece here is moving over to our standard shopping campaign. And once we go into the settings here, you'll notice things are actually a little different. We actually can't set standard shopping to only focus on new customers. So we have to do this in a much more manual way. So just going through the settings, we see everything as a normal standard shopping campaign. When we go over to our keywords and we go to negative keywords, but we have every single spelling of our branded name in here. That's going to eliminate any ability for someone to type in our brand name in the search bar and actually see an ad. We're really limiting ourselves down to either totally misspellings of our brand name or really focused on pure new customer acquisition. So if you were a jewelry brand, then you could obviously focus this on your brand name and expect that all of the terms and searches that you're going to show up on are going to be jewelry related. As you can see on the right side, we are using an addition of phrase match and exact match. I would highly recommend you use both because if someone says your brand name with a bunch of words behind it, it could actually show up on both phrase match and exact match. If this helped you and you're lost right now and you're spending at least $30,000 in advertising, hit us up at themoonlighters.co. Happy to have a consultation call and potentially work with you on your ad account. If you're under $30,000 in spend right now, keep watching these videos, keep executing, and eventually easily. Hit us up when you're ready. I will talk to you all soon.